So guys, we're back again. We've done a bit more progress. Now I've separated again each component part, and I've come across quite a few different difficulties doing this. This is really not a simple job. Let's just put this out of the way here. So I have my speaker nicely disconnected. Now its size is quite difficult because if you can see here this edging sort of faint white line, you might be able to see it. This is actually obviously where the lid will close. Now it comes across diagonally across the side of the can, which makes it difficult to fit my speaker in. As you can see, I've used this is very bod's job, just doing it as best as I can with a drill, making miniature little drill holes all the way around, and then cutting the tin piece out. In fact, I can show you the piece that was cut out here. It was just pried out the center like that, big hole in the middle to pull it up, and there we go. What I need to do now, it's going to take me forever, is use this bastard file here, or come in with just a round file, sorry, and round off all this edge to make it nice and smooth to fit that speaker in. Now a couple of problems I'm having is space. This is a 30 cal ammo can. It's quite difficult to fit all these different components in. The main problem I'm having is trying to get this component that's normally mounted here to this side to allow my speaker to fit in the gap that's going to go here. So this box, or this panel I guess, is going to slip down the back here. Okay, now taking the power cable out was also a real pain in the ass. I see here they put like some sort of glue on there to stop from coming out, and that's where here would be where it would normally come out. So I'm going to have to drill a hole through the top here, or through somewhere, so that it can fit through the side, and re-glue this guy to the side here to fit room for my speaker in this gap here. I also then need to fit my extra speaker in somewhere, probably down the side here, just on the side. And yeah, it's really not as simple as I thought it was going to be, guys, and I've gone way beyond the point of no return. So if this screws up, it's $100 down the drain. So I really hope it works. So I'm going to file this edge down here and see where we can go from there. Okay guys, back again. So we finally got the speaker inside there. As you can see what I meant by that clearance, we are only just hitting the edges here, but it closes shut fully. The speaker is in. Now I need to get my 4 self-tapping screws in through the side here to make it fit inside. Now in terms of the inside of the actual ammo can, with the cabling, we're going to have to be really smart here. I don't know how exactly we're going to do it, but as you can see there, we've got our cables coming from the speaker. We'll have our unit placed here for the circuitry and whatnot, and we'll go from there. So speaker is mounted, guys. Let's hope this works when it goes back together. Okay guys, so the speaker is now mounted. I just inserted the 4 screws here, some self-tapping screws. Had to use the drill to pilot hole them a little bit, it's the wrong bit, but yeah, I had to drill a couple of pilot holes. It's looking quite smooth right now, nothing really too badly scratched. I'm trying to keep it as pristine as I can here, but being it's an ammo box, I can't really be too picky. So we have the speaker in, so my next mission now is to work on the paneling for the back. But before I do that, I need to be able to fix on my control switch. Now the control switch doesn't have much room on this stereo here. What I'm wanting to try and do is place it on the front, because unfortunately I was going to place it into the lid, but the lid just doesn't have the room. And it also, if you notice here, has channels, and it just doesn't quite work for what I'm trying to do with the switch there. It's just far too big, too wide to fit in that area. That central channel will be very difficult to cut through because it's so thick. And because of these rubber seals, I can't really fit it to the sides here because there's just not enough room. So unfortunately the lid is out, so we're going to have to try and fit it to the front. Now the problem I'm having here is these obviously plastic brackets are going to have to get cut off, but the real problem I'm having is trying to make a perfect edge for this very smooth outlined switch control, which is going to be really difficult. Now you could say, well, why don't you fit it inside? Then you could just open the lid and press play and all that good stuff. Well, then that kind of defeats the purpose of having the remote, because as you can see here, there's the little infrared, or whatever you want to call it, sensor there that's going to pick up our remote control, which is just over here. So that is going to be my next task, is trying to find out the best position for placing this guy onto here. So stay in touch, guys. We'll keep it going here. Okay guys, just a little update for you. I wanted to make sure everything's still working as we go, and as you can see, we're working just beautifully. It looks like an absolute shit show right now. Pardon my language, it's just what I do when I get into things. But it is working, the speaker is mounted, we have our play buttons ready to start working on cutting in, but I just want to make sure that everything is still working correctly. Looks like they built this thing pretty sturdy, you know, the old ion cube there, so I'm really impressed. It's still going strong, so we're going to keep moving forward and see what we can do. Stay in touch, guys. Stay in touch. Why do I keep saying stay in touch? Stay tuned. Okay guys, so a really simple tactic I used to try and find this perfect outline to fit our switch onto the front of the ammo can here was to actually put a piece of paper over the top of it, okay, and then just press down really, well, not really hard, doesn't take much at all with really thin paper, or cheap nasty paper from the dollar store, but it makes a perfect outline of what I need to use. So what I'm now going to do is cut that template out, put it onto my ammo can, mark it out with a pencil, and get cutting. And that's going to be really, really interesting. So as I said before, we used the paper to mark out the outline. Here's the outline of paper there. So all I did is find where on the box I wanted to position it, put it in place, hold it nice and tight. You can even glue it down if you don't trust your firm grip on the paper there. And then just really carefully with your pencil, mark all the way around it. Okay, and there you have your outline for your switch. Now we're going to have to drill holes all the way along, just like we did with the speaker, taking care to come on the inside as much as possible. We can always file like a madman / woman on the inside here to make that outlying edge bigger and bigger to fit our switch in nice and neat, and we can really clean up those edges to make it look really nice and smart. And then all we'll do is we'll trim these silly little brackets off the edge here that just aren't required anymore, and this one at the back, and we'll just place this plastic edging on the back of the ammo can and let this nice smooth edge here fit through our gap on our ammo can. So let's keep going. Okay guys, after some endless drilling, we finally got our pilot holes drilled around the outskirts here. It's not exactly perfect, but it is within the line, so I can nicely and carefully file them down with the round and square file there. So now I just got to figure out a way of cutting in between here safely without damaging anything, because this one got pretty pried up, but it's covered with the plate of the speaker. So I got to be really careful how I do this, so we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, so I finished cutting out my panel here. The one thing I will say, and I'm really screwed up on, protect that paintwork. I know it's an ammo can, we're trying to keep it as clean as possible though without big scratches, and as I was doing a lot of the drilling and cutting of this area here, I made a couple of scratches and I'm a little peeved off with, but oh well, we'll keep going then. So now it's time to get rid of these nasty hole marks up until our nice straight edges that I made here. The curves, we're going to wait until the very end, so we'll just do the straights, make sure they're nice and flat, taking them up to that pencil line there as we're going up, and we'll smooth it out and see if we can get our switch in. Okay, so I got the switch mounted in there. There is a little bit of free play at the top. I'm not too concerned, it's never going to be perfect. What I may do is make some sort of outline to trim it off and make it look prettier. This obviously still looks ugly. When the speaker goes in it'll be nice, but the switch panel there slots in and out real nicely, ready for me to do the wiring for it. So that's that part done. Now all we need to do, pardon me, still got a cold guys, this won't go, is get our tweeter, I guess not tweeter, I'm not very good with speaker analogies. We've got to get this guy secured onto here. We've then got to get our secondary speaker, pardon me, placed into the side of our can. Now I'm not too sure whether or not this is going to work. We're going to give it a try here. We're going to try and put it down the side here because we do have a lot of room on this side, which would be really nice. All of this bracketing is going to get screwed off because it's just junk. I don't know if I'm able to get this actual speaker out of this unit, but we'll see. And then we'll try and mount just the black screening through the side of the ammo box here. So yeah, we're getting there. Remember, eye protection is a must. You got to put eye protection on, guys, because when you're doing things like this, it is not a good time to have one of these guys flying into your eye. And yeah, so we're working on our tweeter side here, and I decided that we have to cut a hole in the side to allow for this bracket that we have. Let's cut off the excess bracket on the side there to allow us to slip it down the side like this. Sorry, let's just tuck the cable in. Slip it in like this. Cable's getting stuck, bear with me. Like so, okay, so that'll sit down the side, and then what will happen is our little speaker actually detaches from here quite nicely. Okay, and our speaker will sit kind of protruding through the side there on this edge. You see this little edge here will actually sit, and that's where the light will shine from our LEDs inside here. So we'll have the black portion of the speaker and then the light strip shine, and then this edge is what's going to sit flat flush, hopefully, against the steel can. As I said before, I'm going to have to do a lot of drilling and cutting and filing, just like the last two holes, which are an absolute nightmare. So we're going to try and do this one now and see where we get going. It's going to take me quite some time here, guys, so let's see how I do. The first casualty of the ammo box war. Guys, be really careful, please be careful with doing this. If you're doing it with just the drill and a hacksaw blade, because that's all I'm doing it with, you're going to get big owies like I'm getting. And again, remember to protect your beautiful ammo box with as much tape as you can, get it nice and thick. We're now going to work on the filing, making sure this is nice and smooth and round, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so that was not a lot of fun, but we did get it in there. Again, a little bit of excess around the sides here. We're going to try and figure out something to replace that and get it sort of looking nice and neat. Like I said before, protection's really important when filing this guy down. It took a lot of time to get that hole filed out, but we got there in the end. So yeah, our speaker fits in there quite nicely. It's actually catching, which is awesome, so I don't have to do any securing whilst I do some other things. But that's our side speaker. Got a main speaker, we got our control port there, and now we need to work on our panel, our power in. Bit of my blood there, I'm sorry guys, wipe that off in a sec. Power point to run our plug through, which is over here, which we're going to test out later, and our circuitry board, which we've got to be able to secure our panel on the side here, and obviously putting our frame in for our other side speaker. We're still going, we're getting there. Hey guys, so we're continuing on with our project here. Ignore this is just some excess glue that got stuck on the back of the old panel. So we got our Bluetooth, our link, and our aux in buttons. Now, with our panel slotting into the top of our ammo box like this, it's going to be our back control panel so that the circuitry board can slip on. We're going to slip this into the back of the ammo box here. Now, I've done a bit of measuring, cut once and all that good stuff, sorry, measure once and all that good stuff. And there's our buttons all lined up. We just had to drill some holes. They're a little off on that center one there, but everything else looks nice and smooth. I made the one on the far left a little bit bigger so that aux plug can go straight in. I will eventually be also cutting some holes for the lamps there, little lights, so that we can see what's going on and see if it's working or not. And then my next phase is one of the most important ones, and we're starting to get into the nitty gritty now. I need to be able to connect up this circuit board to there now, because its original mounting position was here. But obviously our speaker's going to sit right here, so we need to make room. So I'm going to have to mount this guy. Now, obviously we have some circuitry at the back here I need to be very careful of. So I'm making some isolators with, they're basically like the little rubber stoppers you get, that you sort of, the little suckers you get. I cut the excess stuff off. I'll show you exactly what I mean here. Just give me a second. So that's what they'd normally look like, those little things that you stick things on windows and shower walls and all that good stuff. I just cut those off to make little isolators, because they don't obviously conduct electricity or anything like that, and I want to make sure that there's a nice position which I can either screw into or glue into. Now I'm not too sure if I want to glue. I may screw using the existing screws that were given and just screw into those plugs once they're glued in, and we'll have that circuit board in place so that I can start rigging up some power lines, which we have here, and then we're going to probably screw a hole through one side of the ammo can here to put our power line through, feed it up to our power, and then yeah, we're pretty much ready to start gluing things in, securing them down, wiring her up and seeing if she goes. Okay guys, so we have finally stuck the back panel to the ammo box itself. We have our buttons, our aux connector all ready there. So I haven't connected up any circuitry yet, however I have drilled a hole for the power to go through that's actually going to plug to our wall here. Where's that? There it is. And that's going to connect, as you can see in the bottom here. You might not be able to see it very well. Let me see if I can get there. There you go, see the cable. That's just actually going to slip in between. Let's see if I can lay this down for you guys to see a bit better. There we go. Okay, so that's going to slip in this connector down here. Lines up just perfectly. Can't really see it very well. There you go, see that connector there? That's going to just slip onto there when I eventually start hooking things up. So our next port of call is going to be our connecting switch, our control switch, my bad, and that is just going to obviously slip just in place like that, okay, and then we'll start hooking up some of the cables inside here to the connectors for the controller, and we still have our sensor there, able to see. It got a couple of nasty scratches. I really screwed up. Next time I'm going to definitely make sure I protect it a bit better. I also screwed up at the bottom here when I was drilling, went a little doolally on me and sort of caught on the edge there. Now, here's what it is. This is now my box. And now I'm going to have to, after finishing that, I'm going to glue on my other speaker in the corner there. Oh, sorry, no, not that one. Yeah, this guy here. We're going to place this one down the side and connect her up through there. See if I can actually get it in place. Like so. It's not going to hold because I haven't glued it yet. I'll try and get it again. So I'll go like that. Okay, and then we just need our main speaker. Once we've all glued in, we'll plug it all in and we'll give it a good run up. Okay guys, here we are. So we have our switch in place, we have our speaker locked in place, we have our side speaker just about locked in place. I haven't glued it down just yet to make sure everything works, and it's the first thing would have to come out if I did need to replace or move anything. We have our back panel secured in place. Sadly it moved on me and off-cent a little bit for the aux jack, but not a major concern. There is a bung that I had to produce to stop it from slipping in and out the cable too much, so it can't get tugged away. I will eventually secure that down the bottom here with a crap load of glue and sealant to stop that from moving. It was a pain in the butt, guys, to get this, let me see here, curved cable running into the power box at the bottom there. It was a real pain in the butt. But it's done. This bung you see here, see if I can find the piece I took it off. No, I can't. Give me a sec here, guys. I will find it for you. It is... oh no, I can't find it. Anyway, what it is it's a door handle, or I guess a door stop end. So basically it's just one of those things that stop your door from crashing on the side of the wall there, and it's one of those little rubber stoppers. All I did was drill a hole through the center of it and then cut a line under one side to allow it to slip over the cable, and then that is actually pushed into the hole where the cable is to allow the cable to stop getting pulled out. Damn cold. And then, like I said, I'll just glue the crap out of the bottom there, stop it from shifting. There's our plug. So I reconnected our tweeter, I don't know if it is a tweeter, but our other miniature speaker there with the two brown and black cables. I hooked up all the plugs. Seem to work quite nicely. The cables don't have too much of an issue. The only one I have an issue with, I'm really peeved off, I might be able to get an extension or adapter, is the LEDs for our side speaker. We don't have a long enough cable, guys. I've tried every single different configuration to try and slot it in. There's a plug underneath this bracket here to try and slot it in, but I just can't. I can't figure it out. I can't get a long enough cable to do so. So what I may need to do is just purchase a little, I don't know, 2-3 inch extension there. If you notice, I put a crap load of glue around the side of our switch to stop it from moving, so that when you press it, it's not going to push through the other side and hit our electrics back here. Again, I was really peeved off. This moved on me when I was fiddling around my speaker. I had the speaker power plugged in, and I kind of accidentally yanked it and pulled this plate off, and I was panicking, so I quickly glued it back down with the glue gun and pressed it against there, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't check my alignment. So my aux jack is a little off center. You can't see it very well. There it is a little off center, and so my other two plugs, but it's fine. I can still figure it out. I can still probably get an aux jack in there quite nicely. So moment of truth, guys, we're going to fire this thing up. Let's see what we can do. Okay guys, here we go. We got our remote, we got our phone, we got the speaker box, we got a power cable. Let's lift the power cable up and see what we can do here. I'm really hoping this is working. because I'm going to be so upset if $100 has just gone down the drain on this ion cube. So here we go, let's plug this bad boy in. Let's get it the right way around. Like so. We have lights!
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
That is a good sign. We have the power button urging to be pressed. Let's try it out. Oh. Oh my god, yes. So our main speaker's lighting up beautifully. They're like neon blue there. It's kind of flickering a little bit. I'm a little concerned. Nope, it's solid blue. There we go. 2 green lights. I guess that seems like it's working quite nicely, so I'm really happy there. So let's see if the Bluetooth works. Connected, I believe. Let's see if we can get going here. Okay, we are connected. Let's put some music on. Here we go. Oh yeah! There we go. Music is blaring. Let's get the volume cranked. Oh yes. So our remote works too. Change it to green, red, orange, blue, green. It's working, guys. It's freaking working. Turn it right down. The neighbors are going to kill me. So there we go, guys. We for $100 for the ion cube. Let's just show you the box again so you know exactly what we're talking about. $100 for the flash ion cube. $25 for a Army steel ammo can. As you can see here, just a standard 30 cal 7.62mm 200 cartridge ammo can. Okay, it's the standard ammo can. That's all you need. Just those two, really. A lot of tools. If you don't have tools, I apologize, but you're gonna have to go out and probably get some tools. I can make a complete list of tools you need. You are gonna need a drill, a powerful drill, and a lot of drill bits. Most of the screws and things you don't really need from the original ion cube. A lot of other little measuring tools and things like that, but the drill is definitely the most important. If you have an angle grinder or anything else like that, it's going to help you out a lot more. But in the grand scheme of things, this really isn't a difficult project. It took me about, I'd say a day, a good solid day. Unfortunately, I have had a lot of things going on, so I haven't been able to do this as much as I wanted to, but it did take me, I'd say, a good day. If I was left to my own devices and had a solid, proper day to do it, it probably would have taken me a good afternoon. But on and off, I'd probably take about 9 hours to finish, just because of the pain in the ass with the drill. If I had proper tooling to do the job, it would have been even easier. But sadly, unfortunately, it wasn't. So, but there it is. If you want an ammo can speaker without spending $300, $400, $500 on the damn thing, make yourself one. Like, then really, not that difficult. And with this thing, everything's done for you. Like, literally, all you have to do is pull out all the bits and pieces. It's quite easy to figure out yourself and just put it together, really. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. Please share, like, and subscribe. Normally, I'm a gaming channel. However, I guess I'll start doing some DIY jobs. Thank you very much for watching, and once again, have a great day.